Okay, moving on from these solving quadratic equations. Say for instance you get this one, x squared plus 3x minus 2. If you try to do the big X, it's very hard because x by x is x squared. Then you have to get the factors of 2. There's only one factor, one set of factors, which is 2 and 1. So if you say a plus and a minus, it'd be plus 2x minus 1x just gives x. So you can't get the 3x here. If you do minus 2x and minus 1x, you're getting minus 3x. Plus and minus by minus is plus 2. So you can't use this method for finding this. This is where we need to move on to our quadratic formula. So this is the quadratic formula. X is equal to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Apparently, check your log tables, page 26. I think you should be given this formula. You won't have to memorize it, which is a good thing. I mean, literally putting down this formula you'll get points for. Okay, so what the hell is a, b, c, all that stuff? So what we do is we write it out. X squared plus 3x minus 2 is equal to 0. And underneath it, you have ax squared plus bx plus c. That's the form. So from that, you need to find out what's a, what's b, and what's c. And when we do, we just simply put it into this formula. So a is equal to 1 because x squared is the same as 1x squared. So whatever is in front of the x squared is a. If that was 6x squared, a would be 6. But when it's just x squared, it means it's 1x squared. So we know a is 1. Okay? Then we find out what b is. B is the number in front of x that isn't squared, or the next one. So b is equal to 3. B is equal to 3. And then c is always the last number that doesn't have an x. So c is equal to minus 2. So the a coefficient, they call it, the a is always with the x squared, the b is always with the 3x, and the c is with the last number that doesn't have an x. So now that we know what a, b, and c is, we just simply put the values into our formula. So it's minus b, so it's minus 3, plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is 3 squared, minus 4 multiplied by a, which is 1, multiplied by c, which is minus 2, all over 2 times a, which is 2 times 1. Right? It's just simple maths now from here on in. So it's going to be minus 3 plus or minus, do the 3 squared, becomes the square root of 9 minus 4 by 1 by minus 2, all over 2. We go a little bit further. Minus 3 plus or minus the square root of 9 minus a. How do you get minus a? It's minus 2 by 1 is minus 2, and by 4 is minus a. So therefore, 9 minus a is the same as 9 plus a. So your formula becomes minus 3 plus or minus the square root of 9 plus 8 all over 2. Remember, this all has to go over 2. So that becomes minus 3 plus or minus the square root of 17 all over 2. Then we get the square root of 17 on our calculator. So it becomes minus 3 plus or minus 4.123 all over 2. So because we have the plus and the minus, we just write it out twice. So it's minus 3 plus 4.123 all over 2. And you get 0.56. Or it becomes minus 3 minus 4.123 all over 2. And that works out to be on a calculator, minus 3.56. So our values for x are minus 3.56 and plus 0.56. I just have a little side note here saying this is when you ask to get the solutions. It's the same as if they ask where the graph cuts the x-axis. All the same thing. They just want to know the values for x.